a person comes to believe that they have overwhelming evidence in support of the belief that life is against them because that's all that they are able to see. But they don't recognize that there's a tremendous amount that they're just not able to see at the moment. And so they're biased, in other words. So people are walking around and they genuinely believe that they have this overwhelming evidence in support of their belief that life is against them. And they don't recognize that they're extremely biased. And I think about it, it's sort of like, I don't know if this is the greatest analogy, but it's a little bit like we have, imagine somebody has a car, an automobile, a car, and they don't know, they never turn on the ignition. So the car is never on, it's never operating. And so the person with this car determines based on that, the car doesn't work, it's useless, it's just it's a burden and all these things. It's not because the car is actually useless or burdensome or any of those things. It's just because the person doesn't know that they have the option of actually turning it on. And then to extend this metaphor a little bit, it can be because of that bias that then exists for the person. Imagine that then they're shown how to actually turn the car on. And at first, there's this momentary sense of, oh, wow, that's amazing. It's actually doing something. But then this person would say, well, but see, despite the fact that it's making this noise, still doesn't do anything, right? Because they still have it in park. So because of their existing bias, where they are looking for more evidence that life is against them, their car doesn't work, not that it's just a burden, it's useless, then that's how they're going to perceive it. They're going to say, yeah, sure, it's making noise, but it doesn't do anything. See, it's just more evidence that this is a burden to me and it's useless. And of course, we could continue with that because continue to extend that analogy because even showed the person how to change the shifter, then they put it into reverse, and then they insist, well, look, not only is it it's worse than useless, it's dangerous, and on we go, right? They at every step, because of the pre-existing bias, then they're going to interpret things through that lens. So this is the situation that I'm proposing that many of us find ourselves in due to this belief that life is against me. So we have this belief. The belief causes us to be stuck in a mode of perception. This causes us to accumulate a lot of biased evidence in support of the belief. And then we continue to collect more and more evidence because all the evidence that we collect just reinforces this mode. So we just get more and more entrenched in the mode. And no matter, more or less, no matter what happens, we will view that through this lens. So we just then accumulate more and more evidence in support of it. So it just becomes a vicious cycle.